your friends with this easy magic trick. First, the performance. Here's what you'll need for the trick. I'm going to use white paper instead of a bill. Makes it easier to demonstrate and shows up better on camera. Now the key to this trick is black thread. And this is just ordinary sewing thread. The thinner, the better. Now some of you might consider using fishing line, but I find that fishing line tends to be shiny and catches the light. So I think the black thread is the best solution. Now, obviously, there's a trade-off between strength and thinness. The thinner the thread, the better. I just used ordinary sewing thread just because I try to keep everything just everyday materials you might have around the house, as opposed to having to go to a magic dealer. The magic dealer might have a better solution for this. Now, you'll notice in the performance that I was wearing black clothing, which helped to hide the thread. So that's something else to consider when performing this trick. But for purposes of demonstration, we're going to use red thread, nice bright red thread, so you'll be able to see it against the white here and see exactly what I'm doing. You're going to need some tape. You're going to need a needle. That's why this trick is not for kids to put together, but if an adult does put this together as a DIY project, then kids can easily perform this. So let's get started. Oh, and one more thing. You need a chunk of foam. This is the one I actually use for performance. Now this is just packing foam, came in a box that was shipped to me. I didn't buy it. It's just stuff they use to pad. I'm sure when you buy things from online, they have this kind of padding. Anything soft that has a little traction when you put it in your pocket. You can use a cork. You can use even a spool, styrofoam, that type of thing. That's what you need. Let's fold your bill. Fold it lengthwise. Now you want to have good creases. That's what I did with the bill. Now fold it this way in half. Now the tendency here is you probably want to fold it this way, but you actually fold it the opposite way, this way. So it's probably going to go in the other direction you expect it to, and that would be your correct fold. So let me show you what it looks like. When done correctly, it's folded in half, fold it again, and you'll have these layers here. So get the open ends up, not the closed end, the open ends. You'll have two of them that are folds here, and you'll have these open ones here. Now, so if you're holding it like this, this is the correct position. The folded sides here, the open ones here. Now you're going to have 4 layers here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. You hold these 3 aside, and then you line this 4th one with the others here, with the folded ends. And if you've got that, you've got it correct. Now let's get our thread. So I don't embarrass myself in front of the entire internet. I already threaded the needle just to make this easy, and now we're going to push the needle in from this side into the interior here. So let's do that. Remember, it's just 1 layer from the other side here. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. Now let's cut the thread Actually, even better, let's tape it first in here. So I already had my piece of tape ready. So we're going to tape it so it's secure. And let's cut this side with the needle. Don't have to be too neat here because this isn't for performance. In fact, leaving some loose ends makes it easier for you to see. So I've got this tape. Normally I would cut this off so you can't see it. And then you have your thread running. We're going to run it through the spool here. You give yourself some length. And then what you're going to do is take this piece of foam, and once you give yourself a bunch of length, you will wrap this around, tape it to this. We'll just use the spool here for demonstration purposes, but you've almost got this thing set up. So let me unfold the bill so you can see exactly what it looks like. So you'll have an end here that's taped. You'll have two of them running here, and then on the other side it'll look like this. So if your bill looks like this after you've threaded it, you've done it correctly. Now let's show you how to do the trick. We're going to imagine that the thread here is your foam. And what you do is you have the length of thread wound around your piece of foam. This foam goes in your pocket. It just kind of jams in there, and you're going to have to adjust the length. But what's great about this approach is with extra thread, if you have too much thread, you just wind it around here and reduce the length. After a while, you'll get a sense for what kind of length of thread you need to perform the trick. And yes, this is the one I used in performance with the black thread. So I want to keep everything up here on the level, so we're going to imagine that this is the piece of foam, and just like a piece of foam, you can adjust the levels. So this is in the pocket. You have your black thread. Now we fold it up. Now here's what's interesting. If you pull the thread, you'll see that the bill will fold itself, and that's exactly what we're doing. Now obviously I pulled the thread here to make this happen, but see, right there, the thread goes between the fingers, so it's running underneath here, and then the trick, if you pull the thread, makes the bill fold itself. That's the key. So you come out ready to perform the trick. This is anchored in your pocket so it doesn't move. So when you practice, wind this up to find the optimal length for you. Now, run the thread between your fingers here and down. As I did in the demo, I wore dark black clothing, so it couldn't be seen. Make sure these are nice, good creases so bill will naturally fold. Now, with this anchored, this doesn't move because it's in my pocket, and the thread running down and into my pocket. All I have to do is move my hand forward. So it's this hand moving. We're not pulling on this end. All I'm doing is anchoring it here. And when I move forward, you'll see that the bill folds itself. So you just try and be subtle, just slow movements. You wave your hand and make it look like you're actually making things happen there. And then you just keep moving forward, and it'll fold and fold once more. And then you can remove it. Here's the thread, remove it, and hold the folded bill like this. And that's how you perform the trick.